Hey there, seekers of genuine laughter and authentic tales. You're tuned in to Unapologetic Voices, where every story is real and every laugh is genuine. I'm Thomas Tripp, along with Kyle-Elio Torres, ready to share our unfiltered experiences with you.
Hey guys, so this is just a small refresher. This is a two-parter. This is the second part. It's carrying on from the first part. We kind of cut it off in the middle of a conversation, so it's kind of wonky. So if you're starting on this episode, I recommend watching the first one first, just to get a better idea of what this is about and how this is going. In the later future, we'll probably fix this, but till then, we're going to go with what we got. But anyways, let's get started. So he started up his own podcast and stuff, and he would talk shit about the government and all that.
Oh, he becomes one of those characters?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then they end up coming back to him and was like, hey, we need your help. We found out there's these weird trimmers, blah, blah, blah.
And he's like, I knew it.
And he's like, yeah, I might be able to figure something out. And then apparently he just gets on Reddit and has all the goons start talking to each other, and they all come up with a theory. And
it's kind of how you do it.
Yeah, legit.
That's perfect.
And he goes there with the theories, and he's like, I got a couple different ideas, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts naming all this shit off.
Is that the most realistic part of the movie?
I guess, because the crazy thing about people on Reddit, they make things happen.
That's true.
So
they could collapse the government.
Right. If they really wanted to, shit could start.
Oh, yeah.
So, and what I mean by that is, I love
Reddit.
Yeah. What I mean by that is, what is that one motherfucker's name? Fuck. The guy from Holes.
Okay, Shia LaBeouf.
He was doing this thing. I don't remember what it was, but it was a political stunt. Right?
Okay.
And he was going around putting up flags. And
geolocator.
Yeah.
Yes, he was putting up flags and taking a selfie with the flag, but not showing anything.
Not showing
He showed
anything.
the fucking sky.
He showed the tiniest bit of something.
Yes.
And all these Reddit motherfuckers were like, it's time to analyze, boys.
And they found out where he was in 8 minutes.
He literally set it up and was found fast as fuck.
Yeah.
An army of motherfuckers showed up to his thing.
Yeah.
And he got kicked out.
Dude.
They threw him out just for fun. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I was just trying to have fun, and they kicked me out.
Dude, Reddit could mobilize an army in seconds.
Dude,
In seconds.
And it
if you were to put on Reddit, in the most public forums, if you were to put in Lolly Girl needs assistance against Russia, currently fighting from Ukraine, I guarantee you at least 200,000 people would be on planes to Ukraine right now.
They're like, well, I need to get in this real quick. Yeah. Let's start talking, find out more about this Lolly Girl. All right, I'm in the cause. Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm controlling their drones now.
I'm controlling
from home. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just crazy how that does happen. So, that's a realistic thing that they did in the movie.
I like that, yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. But I will say this. The end fight was very anticlimactic.
Okay. Was it Godzilla Kong versus the red ape, I would assume?
Yes, and there was another lizard creature.
Interesting.
I don't remember the name to the other lizard creature, but essentially that fucking creature was double the size of Godzilla.
Wow.
It was big.
That's crazy.
Right?
I don't like that.
I actually have a picture of it that shows the representation.
Okay.
Right here.
I feel like you sent this to me or something.
I posted it in the Discord because we were discussing it.
You did.
And I want this to be known.
Unknown Titan skeleton.
Oh yeah, there was this giant fucking skeleton that all the monkeys walked over, and it's just where the fuck did that thing come from?
Okay.
But it's just the fact that this thing is huge as hell.
It could eat Kong. That's crazy. Wait, what the hell is that? Oh, is that the monster? I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the skeleton the whole time.
Yeah, no. This is Godzilla. Yeah. This is the other monster.
That's the other
bigger
one?
Than Godzilla.
What's the name of it? Shimo.
Shimo.
That's cool. I'm sorry. I was looking at the skeleton the entire time.
Yeah, no. You looked at the wrong thing. Fine. Whatever. But there was like scenes where it kind of looked like this thing changed sizes multiple times.
Okay.
So when you first meet it, it kind of looks smaller than like
mother of all titans.
What? What is?
That's what it's called. Shimo, the mother of all titans.
Oh, okay.
365 meters long. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, Godzilla beats the fuck out of it.
Nice.
But so like the whole story is that thing is being controlled by the red monkey, right?
Yep.
The red monkey has this special item that like
Scar King
forces it to do what it wants.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And essentially it's incorporated as a slave. And during the final fight, literally that monkey's just getting his ass beat the whole time. Like Kong's beating the shit out of him.
Hell yeah.
And then like the way that I looked at it, in reality, Godzilla could have took both of those motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
You know? Godzilla could have fought the monkey and fought that fucking ice dragon, whatever. And the way that it was doing it was that the ice dragon was focusing on fighting Godzilla, and Godzilla was beating the shit out of it. Godzilla was getting his ass beat too. But the only thing is, she has like this ice power, right? But Godzilla can't be frozen because he's atomic and he produces so much heat. Yeah, and he like a few scenes before this, he froze himself on purpose underneath the ground in the ocean so that he could absorb. He like absorbs all this energy from this other fish that he kills, right? This other lizard creature.
Cool.
And he decides to just sleep in the ice, right? So even if you froze him, right, he's just coming back and whooping your ass. Yeah. So like you essentially have the temporary power to stop me, but you're not gonna stop me.
Right. King of the Monsters.
Right. And the whole time the fight's going on, every time Godzilla touched the orangutan monkey, he like beat the fuck out of him. Nice. You know? Yeah. Like he slammed him to the ground and fucking went, oh, and like hit him a couple times, and like somehow the monkey got away. And as soon as the monkey got away, fucking King Kong came up. Like, I kid you not, if they were playing X Gonna Give It To You,
it would have matched.
It would have been the perfect
Were you just
song.
hearing it in your head?
Yeah, dude. I was like, that's what was going through my dyslexic ass head the whole time. I'm like watching it. It was just, X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. Ooh,
that's awesome.
Just getting pounded.
You're making me want to watch it now because I've seen all of the MonsterVerse movies, including the original like 50s Godzilla and stuff. Mm-hmm. The trailer just never looked good to me. I don't know why.
So, fun fact that I used to do a long time ago when I was a little kid with John. Mm. I would stay up late nights to watch this talk show host called Wolfman Mac. Okay. Really stupid thing. It was this guy dressed up as a werewolf who had other friends who were like vampires. Cool.
I like this talk show.
His best friend was this guy called like Boney Bob or something like that, or Boney something.
He's a skeleton.
He was just like a little skeleton, right?
Nice.
And they would essentially just show 80s horror films, right? And like sometimes they'll show like 90s, like they would just show different years, whatever, and they would do their own cuts into the movie. Oh. So
what do you mean?
So like they would just add shit to the movies.
Like Team 4-Star?
So like they did Godzilla, right? Okay. And they were like, they were just like, oh, what if Godzilla at this time actually had his laser ability? Right?
And they just threw it in?
Yeah, because like the whole time we're watching the movie, it's literally just them. Like it's like you're at the theater. Okay. And you're like you could see like the tips of their ears. You could see like Boney Bob
I get
on
you.
the side.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're all just watching together.
Right, I get you.
Right?
Yeah.
Family friendly.
And then they would pause it.
And then they would just be like, what if this happened? And then, you know, a really shitty how do I explain it?
Like a pixelated version of...
like the shittiest edit in the world was like, oh, Godzilla has his fucking fire breath or whatever. Let's see what that looks like. And you see like the nastiest little fire get blasted out of his mouth in a scene. And he was like, yeah, burn, burn. And like they would say stupid shit. You know, like they would comment to it. Like they did they did one where it was like the Night of the Living Dead, right? And they were like, yeah.
Okay.
And they were like, you know what? There's not enough zombies. So they added zombies to the movie. And it was and it looked like they didn't belong. And like, so like during that movie, they had like a bunch of random people who were like guests on the show.
Yeah.
Who were just like, fans. And they put them all in the fucking movie.
That's awesome.
And
but it's like really bad green screen?
Oh, really bad. Because you just see them and they're walking, but they're not touching the ground. They're walking as if they're walking on normal footing.
I got you.
While like the screen is tilted, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, that don't look right, but it's funny as fuck. And, that's also a segment into one of my neighbors is this little old lady, very lovely woman. I pretty much like would go to her house every single day. She never gave me snacks or anything. Like, I don't know why the fuck I would go over there all the time.
Okay.
But she was just
touch
cool.
You?
No, she was just cool to talk to.
Yeah.
But long story short, her grandkids would come over all the time on the weekends.
Oh, right on.
So I would hang out with her grandkids. Her dad, or well, I'll say not her dad. It's. I'd really think about it.
Okay.
It's her daughter's husband.
All right.
So, her daughter's husband.
Her son-in-law.
Her son-in-law. Okay. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Gotcha.
Her son-in-law would come over, and he was a professional wrestler.
Nice.
And he would go on tour doing all this crazy shit, right? He used to tour for Insane Clown Posse.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, like he would drive their tour bus and everything when he wasn't doing wrestling.
Oh, cool.
And for a while, his son was doing it, which I thought was really cool too. Like, they just let him do it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he was good friends with Wolfman Mac.
Oh, wow.
And I told him, like,
you like the show?
I really love that show. And he told me, he was like, really? Like, I have this fucker's number, like, in my phone. He literally just does this shit out of his basement. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, when he does, like, the big professional stuff, like, he'll, like, rent this huge little thing, and, like, people will come, and that's what they make it look cool and shit.
Yeah.
But he just does it all out of his basement. And I was just like, well, it makes sense.
Was this on TV, or was this on...
Oh, yeah, it was on TV.
That was, like, it's a real show? That's awesome. It
would come on at, like, 2 a.m. I would stay up all night just to watch it.
What's it called again?
Wolfman Mac.
Okay. That's awesome.
Maybe I was delusional. Maybe it's not a real thing. But I just remember it being a thing.
There's no way this is on live television.
It was on live television.
Holy. This is a real thing.
You found it?
It's on IMDb.
Yeah. There he is.
Oh, wow.
And then, like...
It's got 8 stars out of 10. Most movies aren't even ranked that high.
Dude, he made movies better. Like, that's... So,
Oh, he was local. 300,000 homes to Detroit every Saturday night. That's crazy.
That's why I told you, like...
Oh, he's on WMYD. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to wake up in the morning and watch those, like Shaolin Showdown and all that.
Yeah, dude. Fucking 4Kids, man.
Yes.
I would... Dude, I remember one time I was just sleeping, right? Knocked the fuck out. And my sister came into my room because I lived in the basement, right? So, like...
So did he.
Yeah. Okay. But I lived in the basement, and my sister was coming down to do laundry or whatever. And that's where, like, the washer and dryer was. And right when my sister was about to start washing clothes, I just, like a fucking vampire, I was just like this.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, cartoons!
Oh, Jesus.
And she was just like, who the fuck wakes up like that? Because I just jumped out of bed, and I was like... my morning cartoons, I gotta hurry. And I like turned the TV on and I put it on, and like I'm just catching the end of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And fucking One Piece was about to start playing, you know? Gee. And then I would just watch like a bunch of that shit. Dude, it used to be amazing. And then as soon as fucking 4Kids ended and they started showing like Sex in the City and all that other shit, I would just turn off the TV.
Turn it off, yep. Ain't worth my time. Wow. I didn't even know about this guy. And he filmed everything at the now Erebus place? That's crazy.
He went there when he started getting like more professional and he started making more money and shit. He got like a professional spot.
Wow, that's awesome.
Dude, and like I never knew, but my buddy's dad was good friends with him. So I've got to talk to him once on the phone.
Wow.
I never got to meet him, but
sure.
But it was still cool just to be like, oh, this is one of my childhood things, and I got to fucking talk to Wolfman Mac.
I'm a huge fan.
He put on the fucking stupid voice and everything, and he was just like, oh, I heard you're a good fan, blah, blah, blah. He said my name and like a couple random shit, and then he was like, oh, you know, like he did his fucking
That's
howl.
awesome, man.
And I was just like, you know what? This motherfucker's cool.
Yeah.
And then I didn't give a shit that the series stopped, and I never thought about it ever again.
Hey, that's a good moment to have.
Yeah, like this was just like a quick Vietnam flashback. Like the stories just lead to stories.
I like that. That's the point. I told you we didn't need a plan coming into this.
No, I feel like our shit is just too fucked up because now we're gonna have to scavenge through that shit and be like, what do we cut? What do we keep?
We don't need to. We haven't said anything.
Well, yeah, we haven't said anything crazy like. Maybe 1 or 2 cuss words here and there. But I wouldn't cut any of that.
Cuss words can fucking stay.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But we need to check the names that we've been dropping. Just in case something slipped out. Because I did drop Matt's last name. But I didn't mean to because I thought it was his gamer tag for some reason.
His gamer tag is Tubbykins.
I know. But in my head it was... Beep.
Beep. I like Beep.
I saw a movie the other day.
Whatever, we were talking about Gerard anyway.
I saw Easter. Or, I'm sorry, what? I saw a movie on Easter. So, I was with all my white side of the family. And they're pretty religious. Most of them. They're all Christian, you know. So, we hung out earlier in the day. And we were all done eating, hanging out, opening gifts, playing games at like 4, you know? Mm-hmm. And... this is really one of the first times my cousins, this is my aunt's 3 sons. They were all born like one after the other, so they're all within like an age range. So they're all like 15, 16, 17, you know? This is the first time we've hung out outside of their house in like years. You know, I go over their house for holidays or whatever because they have a really big house in South Lyon, right? So, now they're over at my dad's, and this is the first time we actually get to hang out and talk and stuff. You know, one of them like is on their phone the whole time, right? The other one is has a job now, and then the middle one is just graduating high school with like honors and stuff. So it's really cool to like, you know, get to know them better as adults than how I knew them their entire lives, which is my little cousins, you know? So they're all like, we want to hang out with Thomas, blah, blah, blah. You know, Mom, Dad, do you want to go see a movie? Because my dad lives right across the street from Imagine. Okay. So, well, they're all like, yeah, let's go. And we're all talking loudly, right? We're like, what movie do we want to see?
I just want to say this.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I predominantly live in a ghetto area, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Every time I would tell people, why don't we just go to an Imagine theater? Everyone would be like, no, that's for the rich people. And I'm like, no, the fuck
it's not. It's the same exact prices.
And like...
sometimes it's better.
But that's what, like... a lot of people would be like, no, that like Imagine's only in like the more wealthier neighborhoods.
No.
And I'm like, no, it's not.
They just don't know where the 2 are that are close to here.
Right.
The Metro Detroit ones.
But predominantly they are in neighborhoods.
Yeah, because the first one was in like fucking... it's called... first of all, it's called Imagine Palladium. Like, who the hell says palladium after anything that's not like made out of solid gold? Yeah, like wasn't the first one... out in like Birmingham or some shit, like a really nice city,
and like
Michigan.
When that did open up, they actually had like a place where like they made burgers, they did hot dogs, right? Like they actually did legit food
stuff, yeah. And now they're just mostly like pizzas and popcorn,
right? But that carried over for the most part to a lot of them, and a lot of people would be like, "No, that's too fancy for us. We just need like." Nasty buttered popcorn with some like shitty nachos that came out of a $5 bag, you know? Yeah. And like people would be like, that's where we need to be. That's why it's more fun at MJR. Sponsor me.
I'll take an Imagine sponsorship. You get MJR. Okay. I love my Imagine. It's funny because there are times when I have to go to MJR because somebody will like invite me to go or whatever, and I'll literally like look at my phone and look through our messages for your code.
For my stuff?
Yeah, or like, because I think it's under Courtney's for some reason. Yeah. And so I always look at your text and I'm like, fuck, what's the phone number?
Always have points on there too.
Yeah. Like, I don't use them.
There's so many times where like you just get free popcorn or whatever. Like they told, like I just went Tuesday. Sure. And I just got a $5 off anything that I want. Nice. Like if I wanted like their little meal plan thing, I could do it for $5 less. I'm like, okay, cool.
They have a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Imagine's the same, but they're not as good as they used to be. Yeah. Now, actually, both franchises, honestly, they've now dropped their rewards a little bit. But yeah, I do check every once in a while. I think I've only used it one time, like last year, to get a free popcorn from you. I stole it.
Yeah, then, you stole my free popcorn.
You know of this?
Yes, because I spent 15 minutes yelling at the manager, saying there is no fucking way I used that.
It was me.
And then, yeah. And I was telling her, I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Nobody else used my card. It's only been me, blah, blah, blah. And I like told them, they're like, it's been used. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. And I'm like, it's impossible. Who the hell could have used it? My buddies are right over there and they bought their shit and they didn't even use my card. They used their own card. And like, they were just like, okay, well, here's what we'll do. We'll just honor it. We'll give you your fucking free popcorn. And I was like, cool. Can I still do the upgrade for $1 and get a large popcorn? I don't know why my computer made that noise. But nonetheless.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
Fuck you. Mouthing off as I say it. I was like yelling at her. I was being a Karen about it because I wanted my free popcorn.
Yeah, right.
This is the first time that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't get my free popcorn.
Yeah.
And they honored it and they gave me my free popcorn and I upgraded it to the big bag, whatever. And then I go into the fucking thing and I go to you and I'm like, man, I don't know.
Is that when we went?
Yeah.
That was the time?
That was the time we went. And then you
fucking legendary.
And you looked at me and was like, oh yeah, I used your thing to get a free popcorn. And then I said, who the fuck uses someone else's rewards on their fucking card?
Frank.
And I got so pissed.
Legendary.
Because then I felt like the asshole for yelling at this person. Because they told me it was used. I didn't believe them. There was no way it was used. But it was. It was used by you. If I had known ahead of time, I wouldn't have said shit. I would have bought my popcorn happily because I don't argue with people for no reason. I don't stand my ground for most things. Most things I just let it go. But anyways, your Easter.
I just wanted to get a rise out of you. And I have succeeded. So Easter... we're talking loudly about what movie we want to see. There's a new movie out. It's called Late Night with the Devil. Okay. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long. It has no coverage. Like, I've seen one trailer on YouTube somehow, somewhere. I've never seen it on Instagram, never seen it on TikTok. I've never seen it anywhere else. Everybody in my family was like, what's that? And I very loudly am like, oh, it's a 70s talk show with some really good actors. And they bring on a girl who's possessed by the devil. And my grandmother, which is my stepmother's mom, looks at me like, oh, not on the Lord's day, Thomas, not on the Lord's day. And she starts praying. And she does the thing. And immediately my cousin's like, can we go see that? So my cousins, my dad, and my aunt and my uncle, we take off to the theater right across the street. And as we leave out the door, I kid you not, Grandma Jackie, she's out here, Lord, please.
Holy water.
Dude, I swear to God, I thought she was about to break out the holy water. She like is praying for us. She's like, they're gonna go see this movie on Easter Day, the day the Christ was reborn. It was hilarious. So
Zombie Jesus came back.
Zombie Jesus.
That's what Matt said the other day.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, he was like, praise Zombie Jesus.
Today's the day. I like that it's actually a pagan holiday. So, what was I going to say? So we go to the theater and the movie's actually really great. I want to tell you about the movie because I think you would like it. Because it's, like you were saying, about this Wolfman thing. It's like a talk show, 70s talk show, with a little bit of behind the scenes, which is nice. But they play it out like it was all a live tape, which is really cool. like, it would be cool if there wasn't a lot of cuts. Like, if it was all kind of one take, like a real live take. But there's, like, we'll be right back after these messages. And then there's a behind-the-scenes camera that's filming what's happening behind the scenes. It's actually really good. It's a very short movie, so fun to watch. I think you would like it if you checked it out.
Okay.
This lady they bring on is possessed, and there's a doctor with her who's trying to help her. There's also somebody who's a magician who doesn't believe in this stuff. He's like, everything's a trick. All the magic I'm doing for you today is like bullshit. This is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And then the demon comes down. It's pretty dope.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
I will say this. I don't know anything about this movie, but because we started talking about horror movies,
sure,
for some fucking reason, my phone started like populating horror shit for me.
Okay.
On TikTok, I've gotten this commercial all day today.
Okay.
About a Netflix movie that's a horror movie about this guy who's just like, I skip it every time. But
right, but like the images are burned into your head. This
guy is just slathered in blood, and he's like, "Let me tell you how I got my Netflix movie, and I directed it." And then I'm like, "No."
Yeah, fuck it.
and I skipped the thing.
Yeah,
but now it's just sitting in the back of my head. I'm like, maybe I have to watch this horror movie.
The ads get you. It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, it just came out. It just dropped. Shit, if I get on TikTok, it'll probably pop up for me. Let me mute my...
Man, I hate that my phone listens to me, but at the same time, it really does bring up stuff that I want to watch.
Right. Like, you can actually turn that setting off. But
you can?
Yes. Oh, but then the thing is, they're going to recommend you random shit that you're not going to want.
Is when evil lurks.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I'm just... that's just what popped up.
What does it look like? What's the guy?
I fucking clicked off of it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, wait. Is it Monkey Man with Dev Patel?
Was it Monkey Man?
Because
yes, Monkey Man.
I don't think it's a horror movie. I think it's just like an Indian version of John Wick.
Is it?
Even though, it's probably American made, and Dev Patel's a really great Indian American actor. But that might be it, dude. He wears a monkey... First of all, that movie should have starred you, because he's wearing a monkey mask the entire movie, and I think he's beating the shit out of 100 people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that why he's covered in blood?
I think that's the movie you're talking about, because I also have been getting asked.
I have, I don't know why this appeared, but this drives me crazy. Like, why would people go into caves like this? But nonetheless.
Do you have an irrational fear of deep cave diving?
No. I have an irrational fear of squeezing into a tiny hole that you cannot fit through, but you use your chin to go through the hole.
Is that irrational or is it just rational?
It should be rational.
It is rational because people die from that shit.
What? Oh yeah, dude. Most people do die.
Why do you go caving? And first of all, the people who say they go caving and they're like, I cannot explain why. I just love to do this. You've lost your fucking mind.
Because
there's a screw loose.
So the biggest thing is.
Yeah. Let's sidetrack to this.
How do you know where's the end of it?
You don't. Because a lot of these people, they want to do caves that haven't been mapped yet. That's the whole point.
Right.
They want to go into these little fucking crevices and name them.
They'll spend hours chiseling a small hole.
Yes, just to
crawl through. And
then
they'll crawl into it.
And they don't know what's on the other side.
And they'll just crawl into it.
Yes.
And there won't be a bigger solution.
No.
It just gets tinier and tinier. And some of the tricks that they say that they have to do is they have to exhale their lungs.
Yeah. So you have no breath.
So that they can just get one more little squeeze through. And then they try to breathe. And no, they can't breathe.
Can't expand their lungs.
Because it's too fucking compressed.
That's crazy.
And people die there.
Yeah.
But then they're the people who fucking get back out.
Yes.
How do you crawl with your chin?
Backwards.
Yeah.
Through a space you couldn't fit in before. No, that's crazy. By the way, there's a lack of oxygen down there.
Yeah.
There's no food or water if you're stuck. Because you cannot radio ahead. The only thing you can do is tell somebody, hey, if you don't hear from me in a day and a half, I'm stuck.
I'm dead. They're like, fuck it.
Yeah. Those people are insane. They've never seen The Descent. That's what it is. That's the kind of shit that scares me. Is one day I'll look at... Because I love adventure. I love heights. I love deep sea. I don't give a fuck. I'm not scared of shit like that, right? I went... when I was in Mexico...
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I just said it like that. When I was in Mexico, I was diving in the Riviera Maya. And I was... Like, I have some videos. I was, like, cave diving and scubaing into these, like, dark, scary crevices of underwater with flashlights and like whatever. That shit excites me. It's very cool. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking about every single fucking horror movie I've ever read and watched. But nobody's seen The Descent, okay? It's like the scariest horror movie of all time because you crawl into a fucking hole, you think you're fucking cave diving, having a great time. Oh, you might find some symbols or some shit. That's awesome. What happens when there's like fucking cave crawlers, when there's scary fucking monsters, when you actually go to the underworld? You know what I mean? Like anything can happen. Fucking King Kong could be down there, okay?
Dude.
We don't know.
That's true.
Fuck the tight crevices. I'm scared of what's down there.
So, I don't mind that thought because, I think one of the worst people for me to be comboed with is my brother.
Mikhail?
Yes.
Okay.
Because my brother will not stop me on my impulses.
Fuck it, dude.
Right? So
I'll be like, go for it, man.
So like I'll have these impulses where I just want to do something.
Yeah.
And in my head normally I'm like, no, don't do it.
Right.
Don't waste your time.
But what if you didn't do it and regret it?
But the problem with that is I only think that way when I'm with Johnny, Pelos. Like, if I'm with the people I know who will judge me for the deeds that they already know that I'm willing to do.
For sure.
In my head, I'm like,
nah.
They're just going to tell me not to do it, and I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I'm going to be disappointed that I don't get to do it.
But when you're with an enabler like me,
but my brother, he's one of those, like, he did not once, like, so... Long story short, me and him went on a vacation together.
Okay.
Fun as fuck.
Ohio or a different one?
It was the one where we went to New York Comic-Con.
Okay.
And
so recently.
Yeah. It was just last year, towards the end of the year.
I feel like I know where the story's going.
Right. So, we just like... So my brother...
Is this when you were talking to the guy or something? Or is that a different one?
No, so let me just...
Okay. Stay on this one. We'll jump to that one.
We'll jump to some other soon. So what ends up happening was we go to the New York Comic-Con, and this is my brother's first vacation since he got out of prison. Like, he did this whole bullshit speech for me, right? He was like, can you come with me on this vacation? I haven't been out anywhere. I haven't done anything in my life. The only place I've ever been to is Cuba.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll go with you. I don't care. And I warned him. I was like, just so you know, I might just do some random shit. Like, I don't know what we're going to do, but you know how I was when we were little. I'm still that way. And he's just, and the thing is...
And I have a credit card.
Yeah. And the thing is, my brother back then, when I was little, he was the one saying, do it. You know?
Yeah.
So
nothing's changed.
So nothing has changed. So we go there and we get to the Comic-Con, and the only thing my brother wants is these autographs from this one guy.
Yeah, that's right.
The thing is, though, my brother wants like 200 things signed. Like, unreasonable number.
Nah, I can't do that.
Like, unbelievably unreasonable.
Yeah.
Right?
Like more than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like 200 plus things. He brought $3,000 because like he planned how much he needed for all the signatures of like all these limited edition stuff that he has. So long story short, he wanted to meet the guy who created fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And apparently they pre-sold all the signing tickets.
Okay.
Right?
That sucks.
Yeah. So we got there and they were like,
do you have your confirmation code?
Yeah, they were like, do you have your ticket?
Yeah.
And then we're like, what are you talking about? What ticket? We got our ticket to get in this fucking place.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, no, you need a ticket to get your autograph signed by this guy, and then you got to tell me how much so you had to buy a ticket to get the autograph signed.
Tell how many.
And then tell him how many you're actually doing, and then purchase how many signatures, right?
Man, that sucks.
And I told him, I was like, okay, well, can we buy a ticket in line and just get in?
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, you can, but it's closed right now, so you can't. So it's if he's about to sign like 200 plus people, if he feels like doing it later, we might reopen it. Other than that, he's done for the day. And I was like, oh. And my brother immediately just gave up.
Okay.
Like he was just like, oh, so I can't get my signatures from the guy
My
I
hero.
really wanted.
Yeah.
And like he got signatures from a bunch of people. Like he was going around getting them.
But it's Teenage Mutant Ninja
But he
Turtles.
wanted that specific guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, me and him were like, fuck it. Why don't we go to the actor side, go talk to them, see who you want. He got like a couple of the Guardians of the Galaxy guys, signatures. Yeah. He was talking to them. And I was just like, looking at the time, right? Because like the guy was saying, come back in like 2 hours. Maybe I can get you in, right? Dude, I came back literally 15 minutes later. Nice. I did not wait.
Nah, just checked.
Went back over there and I walked up to the guy and I was like, hey man, listen, I got $3,000 I'm trying to spend right now for this motherfucker to sign about like 200 fucking things. Yeah. And he was just like, he's like, look man, I can't do that for you. And then I was like, okay, let's stand right here. Let's step aside. So I didn't take him outside. So like we were standing next to security.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I was just like,
let's step over here.
Let's step over here. Yeah. And I didn't know, but where I was standing was where the guy who was doing, because I didn't know who the fuck he was.
Sure, yeah.
The guy who was doing the signatures, right? And then I'm like, okay, come here, man. Listen, I'm not gonna get loud with you. This is my brother's first time adventuring out of state. The only reason why we're here is to get 200 signatures from this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Whatever his name was. I knew the name at the time, whatever the guy's name was, because my brother wouldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, all we wanted was the signatures from this guy. He's really excited about it. We have $3,000 we were willing to just drop for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, right now, this is closed. The motherfucker who was doing the signatures looked up and was like, 3?
Three?
And he was just like, all you see is him like wave to the guy, and then the guy was like, all right, so I'm going to give you this ticket. Yeah. And I was like, okay, because I was about to go crazy in just a second. Yeah.
I thought she was going to whip you.
No. But I was just about to go crazy because like I said, I don't go full Karen unless I really have to.
Yeah.
Because my brother gave up. He was like, fuck it.
Heartbroken. Yeah.
And then I called my brother and I was like, where you at right now? Because like the guy was like, where's the money? And my brother had the money on him, obviously. Yeah. He's not going to give me the money. Well, technically he gave me $1,500. So I was like, I have $1,500 on me right now. I can hand to you. And he's like, no, I need all of it. And I'm like, okay, give me just a second. Called my brother. I was like, where you at right now? He's like, I'm about to get my signature from like this. Who was it? It was the guy who played Miles Morales for the movie, the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
He was there.
Got you.
And really cool, right?
Yeah, right.
I was like, great. He's like, I'm literally second in line.
Are you talking about the voice actor?
Yeah. And I was like, if you don't get over here, you're not getting your turtle shit signed.
Yeah. Did he run?
Dude, he was like, bye. Left the line, showed up right next to me in like 10 seconds.
Nice, yeah.
And then he was like, so what's going on? I was like, oh, I got mad and I yelled. Like, I said a lot of shit to that guy. Like,
for sure, yeah.
Like, I'm making it sweet and short.
Yeah.
But I made sure this fucker understood. Like, we had money to throw down.
Yeah, not to mention you were never informed that you had to get pre-sale.
Apparently, it's a well-known thing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
For sure. I got cash. Let's go.
I'm a ghetto Detroit piece of
That's
shit.
That's how you do it.
Like,
listen. Yeah.
I was talking about cutting the line, doing everything. I didn't give a shit.
Right.
My brother wanted it.
Yeah.
And I had a mission. So I essentially convinced the entire people, the security. I don't know what happened, but they were like yelling at everybody. I sweet talked that lady so bad that she was letting me she let me go to the back area where I wasn't supposed to be at all.
Nice.
Like I was doing whatever I wanted, right? Because like I was just doing my sweet talk like I always do. But that's a side note. We got my brother that shit, right? The very next day we were going to go around New York City. Or not New York. Where the fuck were we? Yeah, it was New York. so we were going to go around New York City, and we're like, dude, I don't want to drive there anymore. Because a lot of crazy shit was happening.
Yeah.
Like, when we were trying to drive there,
I bet traffic was crazy.
dude, traffic was insane. A lot of horrible drivers.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a fucking 2-way street.
Right.
That was a 4-way street.
Okay.
Like, only 2 cars could fit.
Oh, but
they made it a 4-way.
Okay.
And when we were driving, there was a line, really long line that wasn't moving for a while, and we were in that line. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. And like, I was the one driving, so I'm like, I'm getting real pissed because like I'm not an angry driver either. I don't give a fuck. If I gotta sit there for an hour, I'll sit there for an hour.
Right.
But we had a schedule.
Yeah.
So I like swerved into the next lane. We start moving. We get up to the light, and right at the light, there's a car with nobody in it. And they just got out and left. It's in the middle of the fucking street.
Just sitting there?
Just sitting there.
Was it a nice car or what?
It was an okay car.
Average?
I don't remember what car it was, but it wasn't like a bad looking car.
I just wonder, like, did someone steal it and leave it? That's crazy.
Maybe. But it was just that lane wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And everybody was behind them because nobody was in the car.
That's stupid.
And I drove past and I was like, as I drove past, I was like, you got to get in the driver's seat. I need to get the fuck out this car.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking freak
you
out.
know?
Yeah.
Like, we got to the parking lot and then we got all the shit and took it all. So, you know, my brother's pretty crazy with the shit that he be saying to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we start walking on the street. This is when we're heading to the convention. I'm a nice guy. I will never stop someone from trying to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he noticed that. Like, people would just stop me and not him for some reason, and they would start talking. And I go with the flow. Fuck it. And this charity started talking to us, right? And
fuck them.
Yeah.
First of all.
First and foremost, we're trying to head to this convention. We don't have time to talk to you.
No.
But you stopped me. I'm easy pickings.
Right.
Right? So she starts saying all this crazy shit about helping kids, doing all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm all for helping children. You know, all the jobs that I've had in my life have revolved around kids. Sure. And she's saying all this stuff. And right in front of her, my brother is looking up everything that she is saying. And he's like,
He's what? He's fact checking her?
He's fact checking everything she's saying in front of her. And he looks up the name of the thing and he's like, oh, it's just a scam. All these people do is steal your money. And he looks at her and she asks, so is there anything that you'd like to donate? And in my head, I'm like, fuck it. I'll just give like $5. I don't give a fuck. In a bucket. Yeah. Leave me the fuck alone. And I go to my wallet, and then my brother gets right in her face.
Oh God!
And he's just like, because she asked very nicely too. She's like, so would any of you guys like to donate? Doesn't matter how much. It could be anything. $1, $5, $100, $1 million. You know, like she was joking.
That's like the tactic,
right?
For sure.
And I was just like, whatever. I can live without $5. Fuck it. So I go to reach for my wallet, and my brother gets right in her face, and he's like, no. He said it very straightforward.
I like it.
It was like, no. And then he starts walking away, and then I'm like, I'm with him. Sorry.
Fuck it.
And we go walking, right? So first and foremost, we have someone who's willing to say anything to anybody. And I'm willing to do anything.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's not a very good mix. So the next day when we're like there, we don't want to drive back in there because it was all hell trying to get to places, right?
Sure, yeah.
And we had all these recommendations to go to like all these fucking places. Like they have a Harry Potter store.
Yeah,
like,
legendary.
Right. A bunch of cool shit. We drove past it all. There was just no places to park to fucking go to it, you know? And we were like, nah, fuck that shit. We don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
So we're at like this cheap, raggedy down motel. Dude, I don't think I fucking told you about this, but the first night we got there,
someone died. So
this is a 1-star hotel.
Why would you stay there?
My brother.
Okay. That's all you had to say.
My brother was like, All we need is a cheap hotel, motel, whatever, to just stay the night, move on with our lives, right?
If you make it out of there.
Dude.
All right, so 1 star.
So it's a 1-star hotel.
Okay.
I go there. First, it's like, because, we leave the convention late as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
We're there all day.
Sure, yeah, like
carrying a bunch of shit.
11 p.m.
Having fun, doing random shit. We leave there. We go to the hotel. We check in with the guy. We go to where our room is. And there's this back room area. We go to the back room. We use the key card to unlock the door. And right next to our door is a old lady sleeping on the floor. Thought she was dead.
Okay.
Like, just laying on the floor.
Excellent.
There's like a thin little mattress on the ground and just a bunch of blankets on her.
Oh, like that's the spot.
Yeah, like...
Okay.
Like,
it's not like she just crashed there. That's the spot.
no, that bitch
That's her
goes
home.
there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I walk past her, and I'm just like... I was like, is this our fucking maid? Is she gonna get us room service? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
And she's just sleeping.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm scared to hear what happens next.
We go into the hotel.
Okay.
Open the door, and I'm like, man, if the old lady is what we just saw, just like all her shit sprout out.
Yeah.
Like, she had a coffee machine.
Yeah.
Like, she had the works of a normal house just sitting in a hallway.
Right.
And, like, it looks like she bundles it all up every day.
Mm-hmm.
We go in there, and then I'm like, first thing I do is, you get into a hotel room, you search around.
Yeah, I look around. Always.
You gotta always see what's in your room. You never know if there's a little goblin hiding in the wall.
Sure. Yeah. I don't care about cameras. I care about, like, if someo's under the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
Or if there's needles, whatever.
I definitely wasn't checking for cameras.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
But I start looking around, and I'm like, well, I gotta look in the because I don't want bed bugs. That was
also true.
That was the one thing I told my brother. I was like, if I see a hint of a bed bug, I'm gonna sleep in the car.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? You wouldn't just want to work through it? No.
Yeah, no.
Because
they'll never get off you.
Yeah, they stay on you.
Yeah. You'll bring them home.
You'll bring them home, and then they're on everything.
You gotta burn the house down.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
So, long story short, I had bed bugs once.
Okay.
Because I don't know what happened, but at my aunt's house, they had an infestation that they let someone who was like out of state or something stayed with them, brought bed bugs to their house.
Asshole.
My sister moved in with them, didn't know about it, right? Moved in, and then when I first moved into this place and I like filled it with a bunch of shit, my sister moved in with me to get away from the bed bugs and all that stuff, right?
Oh, God.
And when she brought all her shit,
her clothes, her bags,
she gave the entire house bed bugs. And, I threw away my bed, I threw away my couch, I fucking ripped out all the carpet. I got rid of it. Like, I don't fuck with bugs. Not because I don't like bugs, but
I don't like bugs.
I don't want to get eaten.
For sure. That's how they survive. They eat you all night. Yeah.
Right.
And they go hide. Yeah.
But I checked for it. I looked in the thing.
Yeah.
Because I know
Look
about
at the corners,
it.
Yeah.
And literally, first fucking thing that happens is I open up the bed. Army of cockroaches just spread out on the bed.
Oh, God.
And I just went, that doesn't really bother me.
That's fine. I'll be honest with you. There had to be one, bug that was around. I don't mind the cockroaches that much.
Cockroaches are invasive, but...
they don't fuck with you.
It's just whatever.
They don't fuck with you.
So my brother was like, it's just a fucking cockroach. They're everywhere in prison. Who gives a fuck? He hopped right onto the bed and he's like, home sweet home. And then I'm just like, all right, whatever. And I get in the bed with him, whatever. We're just chilling, laying. And we're like talking about like, what are we going to do tomorrow? Because we don't want to go back to wherever the fuck.
Yeah.
And like we were just staying right outside of New York. I think we were in New Jersey or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever's right next to New York.
Sure.
I
don't know my states.
Yeah, neither do I. Like,
fuck 'em.
I could be wrong right now, but I don't give a fuck.
That's why I got Google Maps.
Yeah. So I didn't go to school. I went to school, but I had a bad education.
I can't even name all 50 states, I don't think.
Oh, no, I can't. I know for a fact. I don't know.
There you go. Fucking
Like, the only reason I know Dakota's a state is because I had a friend named Dakota.
north or south?
There's two? All right, but so me and my brother,
There's two.
we did.
Funny. Okay.
Thank you. I did know there was two, just so you know.
I'm sure you did, bud.
It's like, damn, sweating a little bit. I gotta prove.
He almost knows.
But so we're trying to decide what we're gonna do, and there was that one funny video that I had where like my brother was like, "What are we gonna do?" And then I was like, "I don't know. I heard you got a condom in your wallet."
Oh God.
You know, like that stupid joke.
Okay.
But whatever. We figured out we were gonna go to the mining place, like this giant cave system.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, now it's leading back.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
starting to lead back
Now
to
we're
the
getting
cave
somewhere.
system. Now we're
Okay.
getting to the meat and potatoes.
Right.
And the whole time, I was just like,
She's sleeping.
yes.
Okay.
Or it's trying to sleep.
Just checking.
And so we end up going there, and you know, the whole time I was just thinking about Matt, right?
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to a fucking rock place. Oh, sweet.
Oh yeah. For
you
sure.
know? And I always think of Matt, and like I called him. I'm like, oh, I'm over here. I'm about to check out this
Going to
place.
these rocks, yeah.
The whole time, me and my brother go there. He's saying crazy shit, like just saying random stuff because
Like
that's
what?
just what he does. So like, saying things when you're supposed to be quiet,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
But he's like saying it to me, so like he's not talking to other people. Like he's just standing there and he's just like, I just farted. Like, or he'd be like, fuck me, or you know, like in the middle of this guy's speech, like he's giving him.
The guy's like, make sure we don't separate from the group. Everybody keep your flashlights on. And he's like, I'm gonna come.
But yeah,
He's like a fucking high schooler.
yeah. So like he's just saying shit, you know. And you know, I'm there, I'm getting all hyped up and shit because you know that kind of shit sets me off, and I'm like, whatever. And like I start talking to the guy because you know I'm one of those people who will start asking questions and like
For sure, yeah.
I'm asking the most random ones.
Right.
And he explained that there is a underground cave that you can go to. So like we're the cave that we're walking in that we were gonna go down.
There's lights. It's public.
There's lights.
Yeah.
It's safe.
There's a
for the
safety
most
rail.
part.
Yeah.
But there's a below that is extremely dangerous. And it is filled with water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so
I want to go in there.
So I'm like, oh, can we go down there? They're like, the fastest way there is through this ladder over here. And
Did you go straight for
it's
it?
just this solid pipe with a ladder. And I
Perfect.
looked at it, looked down, and I'm like, wow, it's really dark. Pulled out a fucking flashlight because I had like those lights with
Oh,
me.
hell yeah.
Illuminated it.
Yeah.
Literally going down that pipe, just water.
Pit
Yeah.
with water in the bottom.
Like you could see that there was like, you know, a little bit of like walkway, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was deep down and just water. I'm like, damn. And you said people died here? And he's like, some people did drown. And like, he was just like, because I was just asking shit, right? We start going deeper and deeper into the cave.
Yeah.
And like,
Sounds
we're
awesome.
going under. It's cool. I am like the guy, like, bad on me, right?
Sure.
But I'm not apologetic.
No, fuck it.
So there's like this this crystal that is being produced on the wall.
Okay.
And the guy says, yeah, this right here is this special type of crystal that if I guess somebody touched it like years ago in the mine by accident with their hand, and it's like growing, and then like in that spot there's like a dent and it's not growing there. And he's like, yeah, so it turns out the oils from your hands kill this rock.
Oh, wow.
And it immediately will stop growing in that spot. And whatever was first left there, that will stay, but it'll never grow. Everything will grow around it. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like, talking to this guy. I'm like, that's crazy. I put my hand right on it.
Oh my God.
And my brother looks at me and he's like, what are you doing? And then I was just like, what happened? You're like, like I was pretending to be stupid. And then my brother was like, yeah! And he just starts slapping the wall.
You guys are assholes.
So we killed this 100-year-old crystal.
What did the tour guide say?
He was saying all of it, but he didn't like look at me. You know?
Your brother goes, what are you doing?
And so
what is wrong with you? Did you tell Gerard?
No.
Oh my God.
But what ended up happening was we went into this other room where they had like these machines where like you could ride them and go deeper down, right?
Like minecarts?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like this giant like elevator essentially. Mm-hmm. But how you would go down is you'd have to like lay back.
Oh.
And
uncomfy.
Yeah, and there would be like 4 other guys. You'd just be packed on each other. Because if any of you leaned a little bit too forward, your face would just get sliced by all the ground.
Yeah.
You know? Because they
crazy.
only carved out enough
to fit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And they would pack motherfuckers in there. That's what they were telling us.
Now I know what you're talking about. You're talking about those sled bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those
and
videos.
They would use those to bring up all the materials and stuff.
Yes.
So that's what happened. People would go down there like that, and he like pushed a button and he like showed that it still worked, kind of. Well, it wasn't like the real way that it worked.
Right.
They had like a fake mechanism to make a cart go down, come back up.
Yeah.
But they had like these rooms that were like sealed off and closed, right? And I'm like, I asked the guy, I was like, so what's in the rooms over there? It was like, oh, that's where they would keep like some of their tools and like the next guys who would be going down, he'd be controlling the mechanisms and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. How would they know if anybody was in there? He's like, there's this tiny little window where you could look inside, kind of. They had spray painted it and everything. I'm like, you can't really see. And they were like, yeah, it's whatever. It's not really a part of the tour. We're just going to keep moving. As soon as they started,
in there?
Dude, as soon as they walked away, I fucking went to the door, tried to open it. It didn't open. And I was just like, I guess I could do it. And then my brother was like, you can. And I fucking pulled the door as hard as I could. And all you heard was a snapping sound and the door opened.
What was in there?
It was like all the controls and stuff. And
cool.
Me and my brother started touching everything. You know, like we were just having fun. We didn't give a fuck. We were in a place where we were never going to go back to, right? And so like there was restricted areas in the mine too, where we weren't allowed to go down. And
you can. No question.
Let me tell you, you can go down those halls. So the group was walking ahead, right? And like there was it was the coolest fucking room, right? They were like, this is the demolition room where they hold all the bombs and stuff. And like they had like a little piece of tape saying don't go this way, blah blah blah. And I'm like, how come it's like flagged off and all that? And they're like, oh, we don't really let people go over there. And I'm like, why? And because I'm still talking, like sure. I'm active in the community. You know, I'm evil, but I'm active in the community. Keep in mind, this is only when someone isn't my guiding light.
Sure. Right?
I'm a very normal, good citizen when I have someone who has morals around me. Allegedly. Like, I don't proactively hurt people. I hurt the things around me, apparently.
That's fine.
Like rocks.
Like crystals.
like crystals.
All right. So what happens after that?
So everyone starts walking past the demolition room, and I'm like, dude, why wouldn't anybody want to look inside the demolition room?
Right.
It sounds
awesome.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I literally just say, fuck it. And I walk down that hall.
Absolutely.
Walk all the way into the room. They have these boxes. I'm like, cool. So this is some of the original boxes. I turn around and I see a mannequin sprawled out butt naked, like looking like it was handcuffed and its head was missing. And I'm like, dude, they just used to fuck these mannequins in here, huh? Like, this is why they didn't want us coming back here, because this dude probably touches this mannequin.
Oh, absolutely.
like, I kid you not, it was there in a chair,
Yep.
legs strapped down, arms like up in the air, like handcuffed together.
Titties out.
No head, no shirt. It had shorts on.
Okay.
And then I'm like, they do so many devious things to this poor mannequin. I have a video of it,
Oh,
too.
Jesus. Was it like a sex doll or is it like mannequin?
No, it was a mannequin.
That's crazy.
And my brother, like, you know, my brother's just following me, you know.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. We're just walking around, still touching shit. Left and right. We're just touching all the different stuff that's down there. And there was this really fucking cool area in the mine. We got deeper down, right? Because we kept going lower and lower and deeper until we got to the one point where there's just this straight tunnel that leads to the exit. There was a filming crew down there.
Oh.
And I'm like, fuck are you people doing here?
Yeah.
And they're like, we're making a movie. And they had the coolest fucking shot ever. So they found one of the areas that is flooded, right? In the middle, they put this throne chair, right? And the whole entire room is sparkling. Like, you can see from, like, the crystals, the weird other shit, like, all the other minerals and stuff that are on the walls, right? And they have, like, these special lights that are making them shine like crazy. And I'm, like, looking at it, I'm like, hey, can I, like, jump over the barrier and, like, take a picture in that chair? Like, I asked, you know? I'm like, fuck it, why don't I ask them?
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're about to shoot our scene. In fact, we don't want any of you people here. And, like, they told us to pretty much leave.
Yeah.
And I stood there, and I stayed there, because, you know, I don't listen to nobody. So...
You'll be quiet.
Yeah. I was just watching them, and then, like, they did, like, this guy with a fucking sword came out and was walking. He looked really cool. And, like, he, like, jumps into the chair... with like his cape, it's like getting dragged in the water, so you know his cape is like soggy and nasty. Slick. And I'm like, oh, this is a nice scene.
Yeah.
And then all you see is him sit down, and then like he flings his cape, right? And then he sits and lays back on his throne, and then they cut the scene.
Badass.
So, I asked them, what is it supposed to be? And they were like, oh, this scene cuts to him, because I guess he wakes up or something happens, and he is now in the ruins of his former thing, right?
Right.
So how he's picturing it right now is he comes back and he sits back in his throne, and he sits down and throws his cape, and immediately the scene's supposed to change
I get you.
into like what it used to be.
Yeah, transitions. Yeah.
Right. Which in my head I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
Right.
Like, that's a really cool scene. And I asked them, I was like, what's this about? And then, like, they were like, oh, this is just some college project. I was like, oh, so it's never going to get seen. I was like, damn, that's a shame. Because that was an awesome scene that they did.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Right? And right after that, we went into this other room where, like, as long as there are no lights in the room, everything in the room glows.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. It was, like, fluorescent moss and, like...
Yeah.
The stones also glowed in like different colors.
That's really cool.
So at first the room full of light, right? And the guy's like, yeah, this room is actually really special because it houses these special crystals. What happened in the old days, someone like imported this rock and then it just infested the place, right? I'm like, how the fuck does that happen? Whatever, I killed a bunch of rocks today, so I accept, you know? But as soon as he turned off the lights, boom, everything was glowing. It was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
We ended up leaving there, went to the next place. There was this phone that was like all the way in the basement. I picked it up just to see if it worked. And it was just like an old-timey phone. it did not work. But it was still cool. There was a guy who apparently worked in the mines like 30 years ago or whatever, 40 years ago. Really old guy. And all of the fucking people are like standing around him doing stuff, right? And they're like talking to him, saying all this stuff. And I don't know why, but something devious went into my head. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't something I was going to do, right? It was just something funny that I knew was fucked up to say out loud came into my head when the guy was talking about his life.
Okay.
So, I don't remember what it was, but it's what I did that was funny because I thought my brother was standing next to me. Because...
so what'd you do?
So, I'm standing there looking at the guy, and I just turn around and start maniacally laughing into I thought was my brother's face. And it was just some random old guy who was just standing there. I'm there literally in his face. Just laughing in his face.
Oh, God.
He did not react to me. And I looked at him, saw that it was him, and was like, oh! And then walked away. And then as I walked away, my brother walked up to me and he was like, what the fuck just happened over there? And I was like, you wouldn't understand if I told you.
That poor old guy?
Yeah.
He's probably like, do I gotta fight this guy right
He
now?
was staring at me the rest of the time.
Yeah, I
we were
bet.
doing stuff.
You're fucking looking at a rock and you
Yeah,
started laughing
fucking
at him.
psycho. And so what ended up happening after that little bullshit, we got to go into this one area where you could go down like a ladder, and the guy actually let you go in the ladder.
Nice.
Right? The hole was not deep. It was closed off because if you went any deeper, you'd drown. But he was like, if you guys want, you can climb up, climb down. This is what they used to do back in the day. I was like, fuck it, man. You know, I love interacting with everything. Oh, there was also one of those other rocks in there. A really beautiful, pristine one. And I, like, as high as I could, reached and put my full palm on it.
Nice.
Because I wanted my palm to go around it.
Absolutely.
I left a little me there.
Absolutely.
Out of all the rocks I touched, that was the special one.
That was the special one.
Yeah. But
I keep thinking about you turning to that guy, just going.
Yeah, just started laughing in his face. I was like cackling, like it wasn't. The motherfucker didn't react.
Oh my God.
And then I just screamed and walked away. Like, see, that's the problem. I was getting too hyped up the whole time I was there.
Right.
So I like started calming it down, but it wasn't working because every time the guy showed me something shiny and nice, technically old and nice, not shiny at all. But I got to go down the ladder and climb back up. It was cool. And then we went to like the main room where like you could buy gifts and random bullshit. Yeah. And then we were like, okay, bye everybody, and we just left. But they had some really they had these awesome statues of like miners, but every one of them was ripped as fuck.
Children?
No, not mine. not children, but like the miners.
Yeah.
But they were like He-Man ripped.
Yeah, they gotta carry stones all day.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But when I think of like miners, I see like the old movies where it's just normal dudes.
Guys in slacks, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like,
covered
yes,
in soot.
they are strong.
Yeah.
Because you could look like a normal big guy and still be strong as fuck.
Right.
And that's how I pictured them.
Yeah.
Every single statue was
that.
If they did this, they ripped their shirt off, nothing but packs, six packs. And like they had all of them like standing there and their arms are like guns and shit. And then like one of them's holding a giant cannon. I'm like, what the fuck do they have a cannon for?
Right.
And like there was another guy holding like a giant like gear, and like he like took his he had his shirt off, so he was completely ripped. I'm like, damn, these are fucking nuts.
Tough miners.
And they all looked like old men. None of them were young.
Right.
I'm like, why look old.
You gotta wonder what they do to that mannequin.
Yeah, I wonder what they did to that mannequin. But yeah, nonetheless, we went there and then we went underground and did all that stuff. And I thought it was really fun because there was one spot that I forgot to mention that everything was metal. They had to replace it because there was a cave in, but it wasn't caved in from the top. The floor caved in.
Okay.
So you could look down and all you see is rapid water just going.
That's scary.
Yeah, so like if you fell,
you're swept away.
You're dead. Yeah. You're gone. They had it fenced off and everything. Right. I didn't fuck around there.
Yeah.
You know? But they did have a latch that let you go downstairs below that to fuck with the mannequins that were there. And it was easily accessible.
Okay.
And it was right next to me. But I did not go down there.
I'm glad you didn't go down to the mannequin room.
Yes. It wasn't really a room. It was literally just a metal pole. And then they had like one mannequin like...
What the fuck were the mannequins there for? Just
to demonstrate like the situations that could happen in there.
Oh, I see. Like they would throw one in the water.
No, they never threw it in the water. So the whole point...
They were set up in ways of death.
They were set up that if you just so happened to have this sort of cave-in, maybe you'd get lucky. They had one that was like hanging from a rope that was like...
Now I see what you're saying.
You know?
They were set up as people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Okay.
So like they were...
Like a museum.
So like when you walked around and you saw all these mannequins propped up in certain ways, you had to think, what was going on in the demolition room? That mannequin was getting fucked.
Something was going on with that one. And they had the door shut.
Yeah. And we walked in.
We saw what we needed to saw.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I thought was really cool, though, that they did talk about was they didn't have the explosive devices together. So one part would be in that room. The other part would be in, like, the other side of the building. They were never close to each other. So, one, you know, like the caps that activate them?
Yeah.
They were on the other side of the cave.
Why?
Just in case some crazy son of a bitch decided to just...
They were live?
They're all live.
What the fuck?
Well, the dynamite's live, but you can't activate it without the other half. So, you know...
Unless you or your brother somehow decided to...
Unless me and my brother was like, yeah, we're going to do this.
You guys broke
There wasn't any dynamite inside there during that time, but they were explaining it.
I got you.
But yeah, no, overall, that was a really fun adventure. And then me and my brother literally said, what do we do now? And then we went to this fucking store where they sold everything. It was just this big ass store where they were selling everything for like cheap. I bought a fucking Snuggie for like $10.
What?
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, you're talking about one of those like side market things. I got you.
Really big, giant place.
Yeah, and some ethnic guy runs it.
No, some white dude was just hanging out. It wasn't like a side thing. It was like they decided to turn this into like a legit building.
Okay.
You know?
A discount store.
Yeah, essentially. And fucking there was like a whole lot of like like those Chinese people that set up the ethnic stores.
Yeah, I get you.
And a lot of the seen on TV shit. You know, that no longer sell that shit.
Yeah, like the Chop It and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that shit was there. And I saw the Snuggie and I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Gotta get it.
Gotta have it.
Yep.
Bought that shit. And while we were there, we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. There was a flyer on the table that said professional midget wrestling.
God damn it. That's where we're going to lead into?
That's where it's leading to.
Let's save it for the next episode.
Save it for the next one.
I cannot get into midget wrestling right now with you.
Oh my god.
At 9:15 on a weekday.
Midget wrestling is amazing. If you've ever done it, you should.
I've basically been there. You've sent me every video.
Oh, dude.
Ever of you being there.
But I want you to understand the lengths that me and my brother went to that day.
Oh, God.
We drove 4 hours to get to that fucking fight. And when we got there, we looked at the price, right? It was $20 just to go in, sit wherever you want. If you wanted VIP seats, it was $40. We walked in, and we just walked in. Like, I was like, we're watching this fight, let's go.
Yeah.
We walked right in. We didn't pay shit.
No?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
We didn't pay shit. We got right up to the front and we were just watching them beat the shit out of each other. I got one of the VIP tables. I was standing on top of it recording.
Hell yeah.
It was all happening outside, you know? So it wasn't like inside the venue. I'm not a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
It was just one of those picnic tables.
I remember.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But, nonetheless, it was a great time. we saw the midget wrestling and then we were like, well, should we just get another cheap hotel and do whatever? I was like, nah, fuck it, let's just drive home. And then we drove home the rest of the way and like made small stops at random spots.
It's like 5-hour drive.
Yeah. We got back home because it was supposed to be like, I think from there to where we went it was like 8.5 hours to like 9 hours, and then we drove already 4 hours towards the way we were supposed to head back because the midget wrestling just so happened to be there. And we were like, fuck yeah, we're going to do it. And then we get there, we make it to the next spot, and then we got home. And then I went to work, and I started telling everybody we should do midget wrestling.
You told everyone.
Oh my God.
It was like the only topic on your mind.
I tried to get Hagazi to go to fucking...
Dog, he would love midget wrestling.
I tried to get him to do it so bad.
He probably get laid by a midget.
I literally told Arlen and Harris, would you give Hagazi a raise if he went to midget wrestling? And they were like, he would never. And I was like, but what if he did? Because, you know, Harris is willing to talk about anything.
Yeah.
That's what makes him a really cool, like, upper manager guy.
Right.
But, you know, that's a side note. You know, you never did finish your Easter story.
So back to no, it wasn't that. It was the wedding story.
Well, yeah, we got so far from the wedding.
I essentially finished the...
Punk, we were still talking about Walmart.
So back to Walmart. That's crazy that...
That's crazy that...
We go back.
Yeah.
All the way to the start. So anyways, I think we should wrap it up there for the first one.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that went really well.
I think...
See what happens? No plan? You just go in?
Well, no, because I think we should have been more founded in, like, what we were trying to do still.
We're not trying to do anything. We're just talking.
I know that. But at some point, we're going to run out of our own stories, right?
I don't know. I got a lot in the chamber.
Dude, I
got like a 30-round clip going on.
Shit, I could tell some of the stories you already technically know.
Well, they don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I know there's some stuff that I have that I just gotta mentally cut out a few things before I mention anything.
Oh, yeah, some of the stuff that you've told me. You definitely gotta cut out.
Oh, God. Well,
but, what was our name again?
Two Unapologetic Voices.
Two Unapologetic Voices. Mm. So, we did not introduce ourselves, but I am Kyle.
Are you pointing to me?
Yeah, go ahead. Fucking say your own fucking name.
I'm Mr. Thomas.
Oh, you're Mr. Thomas?
I don't know. Should we have catchy, like...
Well, technically my name's Kyle-Elio.
I'm Lord Thomas. I own land.
Lord Thomas?
Yeah. That's horrible. That's like an ego thing.
What, when you went over there, you actually bought, like, the sliver of land?
Well, no, I have a sliver of land, but I went to Scotland and I tried to find it, but it's far. It's up by, like, Glencoe, and I didn't want to go up there.
Oh, okay.
During that time. I stayed in, like, Edinburgh.
So you are a lord.
I'm technically a lord.
Technically a lord.
We're not going to do that. My name's Thomas.
I own a lot of land in Cuba.
You are a lord. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Yeah, if you enjoyed any of this fucking garbage, you know, follow us, listen to the next one. Hopefully, whatever we do to edit this, it works out. Yeah, we'll put our QR code so you can donate to us. Oh, boy. Because we're fucking poor. Yeah. You can only live in the ghetto so long. And if anybody knows how to work two mics onto Adobe Audition, please let us know, because we tried for a very long time. So I will say this. I don't know if it's even still recording. That would be horrible. Yeah. Cut it. All right. Let's see. I wonder where it would have stopped. Oh, okay. Is there a limit? All right, guys. We're calling it at the end here. It was fun having you guys listen to both parts. If you enjoyed any of this, leave a like, leave a follow, however it works. If you have friends that would love to hear something like this, share it with them. Other than that, me and my boy Thomas, we're out for the night. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for listening. We out.